Coming up on the GenGAMEcast, EA copies Activision. We answer the question, could cloud gaming work? And
Diablo, Diablo,
Diablo, Diablo, Diablo, Diablo, Diablo, Diablo, Diablo, Diablo, Diablo, Diablo, Diablo. All that more coming up on the GenGAMEcast. Hey, and welcome to the GenGAMEcast for Tuesday, May 15th, 2012. I'm Turbiniani today. Joining me for some of the best commentary in video game this side of the webinets is Kevin O'Rourke. What's going on, Kev?
Hey, Trev. What's up? Been a while
For once,
since I've been here.
You're in the studio, which allows us to do this shot. And joining us remote via Skype, we know him, we love him, he's Benny Gerard.
Howdy, ho. It's been a while.
It has been a while. And
Sometimes
also,
there's a week between, you know, I take my time with this, so.
yeah, we'd like to have you on every once in a while. And also joining us remote via Skype from genstream.net, Chris Hansen. What's going on, Chris?
Not a whole lot. How are you doing?
Good. Heard you're recovering.
Yeah, and I'm glad to be back on the podcast.
Good to hear. Kevin's, are you ready to go?
Ready to go. Let's do it.
I think we should just jump to what are you playing? Chris, what have you been doing this past week?
I have been playing a little bit of Splinter Cell Conviction. Grabbed that one off the shelf. And Pokemon Heart Gold.
Nice. A little bit of portable is always good to see. Benny,
yeah, I just finally picked up a DS, so, you know.
It's always important to have a DS to play some DS games. Benny, what have you been up to this past week?
I finally, I broke, and I finally got myself one of these.
Oh my. In the past 2 weeks, Benny has gone from 360 newbie to 360 no scopes. Just kidding. He can't even hard scope.
And not only did I cave on that, I had to go and borrow a copy of this, a Halo Reach, to get my noob on, as well as Generic Shooter 3.
Everybody loves Generic Shooter 3.
It's Generic Modern Shooter 3 and Generic Space Shooter prequel. But
got mine right here.
I picked up a game a lot of people aren't really too much of a fan of, but I do like playing from time to time. It's Star Fox Adventures. So
didn't know they made that for the Xbox 360. I must have missed it.
I managed to rig up my my Wii once again to my capture card and got that working again. So
nice.
Yeah,
Kevin, I haven't seen you in a while. Have finals been bad to you?
Finals ended today. Finals have been horrible, but finals are over.
Well, it's good that they're over.
It's good times right now. Good times throughout. We're good.
Excellent. And what have you been doing?
Diablo 3, man. Diablo 3.
Diablo 3.
Diablo 3 stayed up. Came out last night.
I impulse purchased it.
Yeah, you did. And we were playing at like 4:30 in the morning. It was ridiculous.
It was so much fun.
It was. And I bet you're glad you got it, right?
I'm glad I got it. And this is going to be the reason why this podcast will not come out until Thursday or Friday. Because when I'm done here, it's going to be back to the computer and back to playing Diablo 3.
I thought you were going to say, like, you know, the servers would crash or something crazy like that.
Well,
because
that could
Lord
happen
knows
too.
That's happened a lot already.
Excellent. And, well, besides Diablo 3, I've begrudgingly started playing Spirit Tracks again and realized how much I hate that game. But that's for a marathon I'm doing later this June.
You know, no biggie.
No big deal. A little site called Zelda Dungeon, and it's gonna be a big deal. 100-hour marathon.
100 hours. I didn't know that was confirmed.
Well, it's about the number we had in our head, so it will be that long at least.
All power.
Every game.
All power to you.
Every game. But besides that, not really too much. A little bit of Modern Warfare, a little bit of Halo, but that's pretty much been it. So
teaching me how to play.
Yeah, that was fun. Also, too, playing a lot of XSplit, learning how to use that program, and all the nifty little tricks inside that. But that's enough of what we've been doing this week. Let's go ahead and jump into the news of this past week. So let's talk about Diablo 3, Kev.
Let's talk about it. It seems pretty relevant.
Yeah. How many how many people tried to log in at 3:01 a.m.?
God, over 100,000 players.
100,000 logon attempts.
Yes, in the US.
I guarantee you there were probably maybe a low percentage of those that succeeded.
We were one of those that error 37, right? Error 37. It's burned in my mind.
Error 37. We actually made the show status error 37 with the Gen Game staff.
We joined the legions of other players live streaming Diablo 3 on Twitch TV. It was great.
Yeah,
it was a fun time.
A lot of people were streaming the game. We got up to like level 10 in our
level
hour
10, and a half. Made it a little bit through Act 1. We cleared, I know you didn't play the Diablo beta, but we cleared what was in the beta and then some. So we put a little, I guess a little more time into the story, which was great.
Yeah. We got pretty far too. We managed to get through a lot of the... We didn't spend a lot of time just kind of sitting there and just grinding on enemies. We just kind of powered through.
Yeah. And it works.
Good.
With 4 players, it really works. And that's the co-op experience that really makes Diablo a lot more fun. And it shows that it hasn't really changed,
this
but it has
addictive
changed.
nature that I haven't seen since Borderlands.
It's an odd comparison.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not really, though. I mean, it's a little different.
It's different for me because I've played Diablo 2 since they came out.
Well,
I was
true.
very young and I shouldn't have been playing those games, but I was playing Diablo at 7 years old, 8 years old. But that's when it was out, and that was the cool thing to do.
Well, I mean, last year I picked up Borderlands. Actually, no, it was 2 years ago I picked up Borderlands, and that game was a lot of fun. And I'm drawing a lot of comparisons between because you have the 4-player parties, different classes, different abilities, and all the different crazy pickups. Some work better with other classes, and it's been a lot of crazy fun.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to playing it after the podcast.
Yeah, so Kevin will be skipping out immediately following the show, and don't leave yet. I'm watching you. I have security in here to make sure you stay here and finish the show. But let's go ahead and talk about something that could be a reality coming to your TV very soon, and that's cloud gaming. NVIDIA just showed off some pretty impressive stuff. They're putting Kepler in the cloud. And if anybody knows what their Kepler chips are, they're pretty powerful graphics chips, and they're powering NVIDIA's next generation of graphic technology in desktops, but they've created server versions of those chips to power services that will provide low latency online gaming experiences. So
pretty cool stuff.
Yeah,
it's pretty revolutionary if I do say so
pretty
myself.
Cool. The graphs they showed here at their announcement earlier today, the game input lag, the bottom bar there, you should focus on. It says console, and the top one there is the Gaikai powered by GeForce Grid. And you'll notice the game pipeline is cut in half on this versus a traditional console and first-generation cloud technologies like OnLive. And you'll notice there's always their fixed 66 millisecond display lag. That could also vary by the display, but the coolest thing is that literally, they're compacting the capture encode, network decode process all within that first 100 milliseconds. So they're basically removing the game pipeline advantage on a console.
It's pretty heavy stuff.
Yeah. This is crazy. Like, this is saying, oh, why do you need a dedicated home console when you have the ability to just plug in this light box that taps off the cloud?
No box.
No box.
No box.
What do you guys think?
It's kind of scary.
Well, I personally think it's pretty cool, but at the same time, it makes me wonder, because what they're talking about is offering a subscription service. I don't see a lot of publishers agreeing to that because they're going to be losing money. If the subscribers are only paying $10 a month and getting access to all of these games, I just don't see it happening. My other thing is, it's just kind of a personal thing. I prefer to have a game in my hand if I'm playing a game. If I spend $60 on a game, I like to have something physical to show for it.
Or at
Whereas
least be
if I'm
able
playing
to have
something in the cloud, I won't necessarily have that.
Well, like, for example, when you buy a game off Steam, you have that ability, and the promise that they give you is you'll be able to play that game, even if Steam DRM servers eventually disappear.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I totally agree. Like it's definitely the future, and it makes a lot more sense than having a physical disc. It's just still, I like to have something physical in my hands that I can show for it. It's just a personal thing, I suppose.
Something to put on your shelf. I'm that kind of guy too. I love putting it on my shelf. That's why I went out and bought a physical copy of Diablo 3 instead of trolling around at 3:30 in the morning buying my fancy schmancy digital copy.
I mean, I got my physical copy of StarCraft, but it's pretty much just useless for. It's just box art now.
Yeah.
Let's just put it on the shelf.
You have the shelf right there, and look at how nice it looks right there on the shelf.
Actually, it doesn't look very good.
No, because you knocked down half the games, but that's besides.
They're not knocked down; they're just leaning. The Mario box does not stand up on its own. All right. Regardless, I think this is definitely a good step, but I think we're going to need to see more compelling services before I think you'll see publishers and gamers step onto a service like this. I think, though, you'll see a lot of casual players be like, hey, this is kind of cool. Only got to pay $10 a month, or if they do it like OnLive where you pay for the game, that could work.
Yeah. It's almost like, when you think about it, it's almost like a GameFly service where they send the games to you for X amount of dollars per month, but this is all digital. It's virtually the same thing.
Yeah.
Virtually
the same thing, but not physically the same thing.
No, it's not. We'll play on words there.
I have a quick question about this. I'm just a little confused. If you're playing on the cloud network, can you play? Is it cross compatible just like with other PC gamers or even console gamers? Or
I would assume it's cross compatible with PC gamers because they're running the PC builds of software.
Could be.
So
PS3
it's basically
too.
a cheaper alternative
Could
to
be.
building your own computer and running it from there.
Well, a gaming PC, a real gaming PC, is going to cost you upwards of $1,000, and don't even try to BS me saying it's going to cost you less. Once you add a real processor, a real graphics card, keyboard, mouse, monitor.
I was gonna say $1,200, but yeah, that makes sense.
You're over $1,000. Well, let's discount the monitor, and you're at $1,000.
You wouldn't have to. When you get a real computer, you don't have to actually You probably wouldn't have to upgrade it for about 3 years.
Oh, are you kidding me?
You should upgrade it sooner.
Are you kidding me? The upgrade cycle on a PC is 2 years.
Let
at
me
the
finish
most.
my thought, okay? You shouldn't. I mean, you can go that long. Should you? No. You want to put new parts in it all the time to keep it up to date and with par with everything new coming out. I'm saying, can you go longer than that? Yes. Most people don't.
Yeah, because at that point you're running the games on low settings or medium settings.
The stuff that this is appealing to are the people who don't like upgrading their stuff every 6 months. They rather.
No, this type of system is appealing to the people who buy Xbox 360s because they don't want to deal with the problem of PCs. That's what the target is of this type of device or type of service.
Console gamers.
Yeah. It's there to just be like, hey, you want a cheap box to play a lot of great games? Well, here you go. For $99, get the Steam box. Oh,
I
sorry,
personally
not the
have
Steam
used
box.
OnLive a little
The
bit.
Stream
And the main
box.
thing that I actually used it for was trying out games before buying them. Because I don't have a gaming PC at the moment, so I figured if I'm going to buy a game on Xbox, they're going to be pretty close on the computer, and OnLive was a free way to try out games.
So is torrenting.
The other thing is, I actually just looked it up. The OnLive isn't cross-compatible with the PC versions of the game, at least right now. That's not to say that the NVIDIA version won't be, but
I don't know why it wouldn't be.
But OnLive right now, you can only play with other OnLive community members,
and that's kind of the downfall of OnLive right now. The community is very, very small.
Mm-hmm.
That's why my question of cross-platforming comes up, because if you don't have that functionality to connect with other people who maybe you have friends who do play on PC, it's like, well, I want to play with them, but I don't want to have to shell out the money for a computer. If they can get that to work properly, then yeah, I mean, this is a great idea.
Speaking of copying other people's ideas, Trevor, why don't we announce the next topic?
Well, if you are EA, you're saying, oh man, we are still getting our tails handed to us by Modern Warfare 3. So, EA came with a great idea. Let's start, well, this is all rumored, and EA doesn't comment on speculation or rumors, which is code for oh crap, they found us. And we all know that. And it wouldn't be a far stretch for EA to announce a service that allows you to subscribe for an annual fee and get all of the content drops available for a particular title. Some people are calling this Battlefield 3 Elite because it clearly is just a total carbon copy of
Wow, you're
Call
getting
of Duty's.
confused about it already.
Call of Duty's Elite content system. While it's not going to provide additional stat tracking, it is going to provide users with the ability to download more maps for less money, which I guess is good in a way, right? What do you think of that, Kev?
To be honest, I don't really play Battlefield 3 or Modern Warfare 3, so it doesn't really matter to me. As hard,
Well, I mean,
as horrible as that sounds.
look at it from an objective standpoint.
From an objective standpoint, it's a good idea. If it works with Call of Duty Elite, it should work with Battlefield 3 Elite.
I hope they don't. I really hope they don't call it Elite, because
Yeah.
that would be a pretty big patent issue.
I mean, it's patent issues about that.
They'll call it
More coming up on that later.
1137.
But right now it's still tagged as a rumor. EA, as I said, is not commenting on it, so we'll find out soon enough. E3 is just right around the corner.
Well, the way I look at it is any way that I can save money, like gaming, I'm all for it.
That's
So,
why I went
mean-
for Elite.
Sorry?
That's why I went for Call of Duty Elite.
Yeah, exactly. Like, if you can save money, why not, right?
Maybe we'll see a Halo Elite for Halo 4. I'd be down
Do
for
they have
that.
something like that? Like some kind of app you can download?
Well, they have Halo Waypoint,
You
which
have
is
the Atlas, right? Is it Atlas, Chris? So that's
Yeah,
the master.
well, there's the Halo Waypoint app that you can use to like check your stats and stuff like that. Then there's Atlas, which is the biggest waste of money you can possibly get.
What is that?
Basically, all it
Spartan
is it's supposed to be real-time
1337.
monitoring of your games,
Master
but
Chris.
it doesn't work very well.
It's a real-time tracking map.
I saw that, and I was
Nah.
thinking about it. Just to try it out.
No, it's like $10, right?
Is it really?
$10
It's
for
it's
$5?
$4.99, I think. I picked it up and I used it the night that I got it.
And that's it.
about it.
It's cool for the MLG player that maybe wants the advantage, or
I mean,
that
does
Halo
it really
fan that
provide
really-
an advantage, though? Because there's got to be some sort of
there's
latency.
got to be some latency. Yeah.
The main thing that it does for you is just show you where your teammates are on the map.
I think there's
That's
a.
totally unfair.
Isn't there a weapon timer as well? I think there is.
Yeah, you can set up a weapon timer. The other thing is, but I mean, if you're serious enough about the game, you know when they spawn anyways.
So you could set up a stopwatch on your phone, or you could just remember and look at the time in the
You
corner.
can
of
be
the
like
screen.
pro league players and remember when everything's coming up.
Yeah.
Or you can hire a
the
coach
point
to
is,
whisper
if
to
you're
your
MLG,
ear.
it doesn't matter. You're already that good.
hmm
All right, so now that we've completely sidetracked, let's just wrap up this. Yay, nay, what do we think? Is this going to happen?
I don't think anybody's gonna care if it does happen. I mean, I know a few people who are still hardcore Battlefield 3 fans, and I've looked at numbers of Call of Duty Elite, and it's like not. I don't think that many people really bought into Elite either. So I think fewer people will even buy to this Battlefield 3 Elite system. So it'd be more of a waste of money on EA's end just to get this all set up for them.
I definitely see, like, I think it's happening, pretty much without a doubt. And I'm happy about it because I personally haven't picked up Battlefield 3 yet, but I'm still a pretty big Battlefield 3 fan. Like, I played the beta and I played it at my friend's house. I'm probably in the minority here amongst you guys, but I enjoy it. So,
Well, I picked it up myself, and to be honest, the game has its problems. A lot of them have been ironed out, but I have not seen the real want to go back to it. I mean, it's cool. I really like the physics in the game, but it's just the game and the players and the matchmaking. It's poor at best.
well,
Actually, there
the
is
thing
no
that I
matchmaking.
prefer, the reason I prefer Battlefield over Modern Warfare is basically I feel that you need to work as a team, whereas in Modern Warfare, one person can really carry a team. You know?
Well, to counter your point, nobody works as a team in Battlefield because nobody uses mics.
Yeah, I suppose that's true. That's the one downside.
Unless you have a dedicated group
I've
of
seen
friends.
people not carry a team in Modern Warfare 3 just to counter the counterpoint. Because I was playing a kill confirm match and a guy had like 40 something kills and maybe 4 deaths, and they still lost because they couldn't pick up tags.
Yeah, that's called you have an asshole on your team.
That's called
That's
he's a
called
camper
that's
and
called
nobody's run into
that's
him
called frickin' Moab rushing. All right, let's stop beating that dead horse.
Yes, let's please.
Benny, I heard we have some Portal 2 news. Do you want to talk about that?
Portal 2's perpetual testing initiative is awesome. It's basically a map maker for Portal. It's something people have been wanting since Portal 1. I guess the biggest shocking news from this is how many millions of downloads. It's the report on May 11th, so it was downloaded 1.3 million times since its release on May 8th. And over 35,000 user-created maps have been uploaded. This was May 11th. It's now May 15th. I'm guessing that number has probably doubled or even tripled by now. Holy cow. It's about having as much success as TF2 had when it first went free-to-play. And this is probably the smartest move Valve's made on their software since delaying Episode 3. It's Valve following up on their titles. And it's smart for them to do so.
Oh,
you
yeah.
see a lot of modern publishers today doing so. I mean, you look at Minecraft. They keep following up with updates, even though the game's, I guess, done.
Well, I don't think Minecraft will ever be done. And Portal 2, it was pretty done to a degree. I think we could all agree. When Portal 2 released, if that was it, I think people would still be happy with it today.
Yeah.
It was a
People don't
solid
blame
game. It had everything you needed inside of it. It was a conclusive, enclosed experience where if there was no updates to the game, except for like game-breaking glitches, or like if they didn't add any content to it, it wouldn't have taken away anything from the game.
They didn't add really much to Portal 1, and people still enjoyed it. I mean, they already had map creation software, and it was through Hammer, I think it's called. But it's where you had to actually sit there and build your own levels. I mean, this is more of a easy user interface with everything everything you need right in front of you to make your own puzzles. I think one of the articles I read is the guy spent about a couple hours making this really complex Rube Goldberg machine, which was really, really cool. It's basically you hit a button, and this box, you see this cube just travel all the way across to the other end of the map and hit a button, and the door opens.
Nice, but let's go ahead and move on from that, because I love Portal 2. But if I keep looking at Portal 2, I'm gonna get stuck in that. I'm gonna forget about Diablo 3, and then I'll forget about StarCraft 2, and I'll forget about everything else I've been doing. So Portal 2, I'll come back to you in about 12 months, come up with some great maps, and I'll play them then. Alrighty, Kev.
Next on the list, the Halo 4 cover art has been released. Chris posted about it when it was a rumor on GenGame, and I posted about it when it was revealed, and it has been revealed, and it looks really cool. You guys have seen it, right?
Yeah, I think
It's
everybody's seen it. It's
looks very
cool. It's like this
very
gritty.
Dyson sphere stuff going on with that. It's very cool. It looks very, I don't know, it just sums up Halo right there. You're Master Chief. There's some crazy big hurricane that's going to eat you, and there's buildings falling, and that's the whole game. That's it. It just looks cool. That's cool the way that it was discovered, I guess. It was like almost like a treasure hunt of emails.
Yeah, that was. I really like the fact that they did that, and it also shows how tight knit the Halo community still is.
Big time.
Being able to put it together so quickly.
I forget how long it didn't take very
It was about
long.
an hour.
It took about an hour, and there were 32 pieces altogether.
That's ridiculous.
Pretty cool.
So I think it's obvious we're going to see more of Halo 3 at E3 coming up.
Halo 4.
Halo 4, sorry.
If we saw
There's
more
a lot
of
of
Halo
threes
3
this week.
Yeah.
If we saw more of Halo 3, that'd be pretty interesting.
Yeah. Speaking of threes, Max Payne 3 came out
Yes, it
this
did.
past Tuesday. And the spoiler alert, everybody.
Nobody
None
cares.
of Twitch really cared.
No one cares. They
I
don't
mean,
even have the thumbnail up.
I mean, I've seen a few streams of Max Payne 3, but
How
I
many
don't know.
how many more streams did you see of Diablo 3?
I saw more Error 37 streams.
Yeah, there was probably a good, 800 plus streams of Diablo 3 last night.
Still are
alone.
800
Yeah.
plus Diablo streams are going up. I know of that. I remarked this earlier in our pre-show. Is that Diablo 3 has about 8 times more streams than League right now, with only twice as many viewers, which is kind of
Yeah, because there's more
Yeah, it's
people
because-
streaming
yeah,
it.
it's
there's more
everybody-
people playing it, and it just signals to me hype, a lot of hype. I just don't know if it's really justified yet, and I don't want to put too much opinion on it. I'm just
All right, Benny.
Well,
Well, enough of your opinion because it is entirely wrong.
A
Diablo
counter
3
to
is
that is I think part of it is I don't think it's just hype about the game. I think part of it is I don't know if Diablo 3 is quite as interesting to watch being streamed.
For those that want to buy it, sure, or
Yeah,
are on the
but-
fence about buying it, considering it just came out.
Chris.
Yeah, like
Yeah, really.
with only two times the amount of viewers, I think part of that is if you already have it, you aren't going to be watching someone else stream it. You're going to be playing it.
Yeah, and everybody and their grandma is live streaming it right now. There's like 40 grandmas live streaming it right now.
Yeah, one of them might be related to me somehow.
that's
Somehow,
disturbing.
that's kind of weird.
If I may bring this back to Max Payne 3 really quick,
Sure.
that game was almost kind of hyped up a lot too, and then all of a sudden Diablo 3, everybody stop what you're doing, and I kind of feel bad for people who are really anticipating Max Payne 3.
I mean,
for a
I
long time.
kind of want to talk about the launch of Diablo 3, like, because it kind of pissed me off a bit.
Oh yeah, it pissed me off too. But you know what, Benny? Diablo 2 came out in 2000. I doubt more people have been waiting for Max Payne 3 than Diablo 3. I've been waiting for Diablo 3 since
When did
Diablo
StarCraft
2.
come out?
Doesn't matter. Diablo 2 came out in 2000.
No, I was gonna make the point that I think as more people are waiting for Diablo 3 than StarCraft
Big
2,
time.
StarCraft 2 is still carrying on a lot of its success.
Diablo
It's,
2.
There's-
it's something
I
with
think-
I guess it's something with Blizzard's weird marketing strategy. I still cannot grasp why they do all the things they do.
Like make good
For
games.
some strange reason, it works.
They piss
Nobody
everybody
knows why,
off.
but it works.
They piss everybody off by removing features people want, and they somehow still sell more copies than anything else ever.
It makes no logical sense, but yes, it works for them because
They make
They're
good
Blizzard.
games.
Then
It's
people end up
Blizzard.
Why
liking the games.
Blizzard?
that's the simple answer. They're Blizzard. They can do what they want.
I'm
Activision
I'm
Blizzard,
so
okay,
invested in
well,
Diablo. It's like you can't. It's not like I'm gonna be on the fence about buying the game. I don't care. Like if they made it like a cartoon weird anime thing, I would still buy it. I probably wouldn't enjoy it as much, but I still would have bought it. Just goes to show, Blizzard forever.
Hail Blizzard.
Yeah, except for World of Warcraft.
But
Just-
you were mad about it, right? From some of the things
Yeah.
they did for the release, like it was kind of dumb.
Like,
One U.S. server bought the game at midnight, had to wait till 3 a.m. to play it, then
That
had
made
to
no
wait an
sense.
hour and a half for the servers to die down.
that made no sense whatsoever.
Why
And it
couldn't-
was such a failure on their part to not anticipate the amount of people wanting to play this game.
Yeah. And they even
Well-
opened up a beta for the weekend to allow for a
gauge
stress
interest.
test. And I mean a ton of people signed into that beta. But they should have seen, oh gee, Diablo 3, most pre-orders ever on Amazon, digital downloads, retail sales.
I will
So
say
many people
their-
bought it.
What's most impressive though is their download servers were able to still keep up.
I downloaded the game 15 minutes.
The game was downloaded to my computer. I was managing about 7.8 megabytes per second,
Yeah,
which
that's
is
ridiculous.
crazy.
While everyone
While everybody's
in the world,
trying to slam these servers to download it.
Yeah, very impressive.
And get in.
They did turn a few servers on, which is why we were able to get on
Yeah,
at
4:30.
4:30.
See, I
AM.
personally feel
Ridiculous.
if it was a smaller game that had a launch that poor, they would have like alienated probably 50% of the audience. Like it's just the fact that it's such a huge game like Diablo 3 that people are still like looking past that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I think if it was anything smaller than Diablo 3, though, it definitely would have been awful for.
They
the
would have
game.
gotten slammed as like worst game ever.
yeah. I
Yeah.
just think that the release for it was just so silly, though, for the U.S. and for other players. I mean,
Yeah.
players in Korea already beat the game by the time me and Trevor were playing.
Before we were even able to log in.
Yeah, we couldn't even log in, and kids in Korea already won. Great, thanks.
Thanks
And then
for ruining
they
for
spoiled it
everyone.
all for me. Not really, but still, I think it would have been smarter to have U.S. East servers, U.S. West servers. They had that in Diablo 2, and it worked.
Well, the problem is you want to be able to. I think that what their point is that infrastructure has gotten a lot better between those days, where connecting from the East Coast to the West Coast isn't as bad as it used to be.
Well, yeah, I mean, you look back in the year 2000, very different compared to what it
Broadband
was
was not
today.
what it was today.
Yeah, for real. But you know what I'm saying though. At least so that, or maybe even temporary servers, so that players who bought the game at midnight could play it at midnight, not having to wait.
Yeah, that
You know what I mean?
it definitely seemed like. Well, then again, it could have been people like me that caused issues, where they're like, you know what, I didn't play the beta, I didn't pre-order the game, I just bought it impulsively after seeing some gameplay.
Yep.
And it could have been just a huge influx of numbers they weren't anticipating.
Well, they waited for Pacific time to open up the servers for the US.
And that
you know
was
that, right?
And that
Okay.
was a bad
Yeah.
idea too.
Yeah, that was the
that's
bad
probably
idea.
the main cause of their downfall is that they only had one server. I
it's
mean,
not
if
a
you look at any
downfall.
kind of release of Blizzard's last two or WoW expansions, Cataclysm and Lich King, the servers themselves updated at the midnight of the local region. Like, I played on a central server, so they updated at midnight, while other people were like, okay, well, on my server, I have to wait until my midnight to play. And Diablo 3, they didn't have that. And again, it's dumb on their part to have one server, and we're going to make everyone wait until 3 a.m. or 2 a.m., wherever you
Well,
live.
I think one other way they could have they wouldn't have ran into this issue is if they didn't have the always online policy. If it was possible to play local single player.
That would have been
I don't think it
better.
would have been as much or as big of an uproar because people still would have been able to jump into single player and start the game.
Start leveling at
Yeah,
least.
Oh, I
but
totally get it.
the
I totally
downside
agree.
to that was, and this is what has ruined a good portion of Diablo 2 and the original Diablo 2 before the expansion that none of you probably know about because none of you have played it. However, there was a lot of manipulations, glitches, hacking, dupe glitches, whole bunch of stuff just because they had open multiplayer. You could play on a local area network, you could play single player, and that led to everybody just hacking the crap out of the game. Just people would like unplug their routers or something while they're dropping an item to a friend and it would duplicate it or something stupid like that. Then they plug the router in, steal whatever, and leave. It was very, very involved things, and they had to patch a lot, all because of those problems. So I can see why they removed it, especially when those items can be sold for real money, real
Yeah.
auction system. If people
I don't
are
know, I'm still-
duplicating, it's like stealing,
Yeah.
like real money stealing. It's a crime. It's a virtual crime.
Sounds like World War VII's happening upstairs.
Yeah, it really does. It's okay.
You tell them to turn it down while we're recording, but
And all the money's going into Blizzard's pockets either way.
Not all of it.
Most of it.
They take a cut, but Benny, you don't get charged a monthly fee like an MMO. And the first thing that people think with Diablo is, "Hey, it's an MMO. I don't like MMOs." It's not. It's
It's not.
own.
It's an RPG.
Yeah,
It's
it's an
Diablo.
action RPG.
Yeah.
It's like its own genre. When you look at games, you
It's
can
like
classify them as as a Diablo clone.
It's-
That's the genre
yeah.
of the game. It's a Diablo clone.
So it's either a Diablo clone, a Dota clone, or a Halo wannabe.
or a Blizzard Dota.
Blizzard All Stars. We gotta clarify.
Yeah. Well, that's
Blizzard All Stars.
that is one thing. So
What were we originally talking about?
We were talking about Diablo 3.
No, I mean, we got on the segment. What were we talking about?
Diablo 3, man.
yeah, that's it.
Diablo 3.
We were talking about Max Payne and then
and
We
the
were talking
cover
about
art.
Halo 4.
And
we
how
went
much
back.
and how much Halo how much Max Payne 3 has been overshadowed by
Yeah.
Diablo
Yes.
3. All right, let's
Yeah,
move on.
We're-
Let's get back
We're
on
good
track.
about it, all right? I
All right.
think, Chris. Let's go, Chris.
All right, so there was also some more information about Halo 4 kind of leaked. Well, it's not really information, but actually two pictures. It's on a McFarlane toy box of an upcoming series of toys, I suppose, or figurines, whatever you want to call them.
Action figures.
And basically, one kind of looks like a dog kind of thing, and it's called a crawler. And the other one kind of looks similar to the idea of, I guess, Guilty Spark. It's kind of like a floating orb. Well, it's not really an orb. It looks like it's an actual creature that kind of floats around similar. And that one's actually called the Watcher. So we aren't sure if they're enemies. I'm assuming they're enemies.
Enemies,
but
allies.
they'll be found in the
They'll
new
be in there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cool.
We don't have a picture?
I just can't wait. I don't have a picture. Do I have a
It
picture?
was in the rundown.
I do have a picture. So let's show the picture of this because
It's kind of hard to see. There's like a glare on the camera.
Yeah.
oh, so it's
It's not the best
Mr.
picture,
Blurry
but-
Cam Supreme.
Yeah, it's Mr. Blurry Cam Supreme at some toy store.
Well, if I see him, because I know I see. Ooh,
I see 10 pixels. The stream sees no pixels.
the stream sees nothing yet. Let me pop it up. There it is. So there you got the Chief. You got a Zealot, a Grunt.
I
Some
think that might be
mystery
an H,
contestants.
not a W, but I can't confirm.
Looks like a turtle and a butterfly. If you squint. Let's put those glasses on.
Are there gonna be other Spartans? I see.
Okay, that is a W. Okay, I had to look on Trevor's end. Like, I couldn't zoom into the picture.
There
So
it
it
is.
looks like a butterfly.
It's like a.
It's like a, I don't know.
It kind of looks like a.
X.
You know,
like a
remember the
Rorschach test.
drones?
Yeah.
It's like a smaller drone. It
Remember
looks
the
like.
drones. Drones
Well,
are still
I'm-
in the game. I love fighting the drones. I was
Yeah,
mad
it's
they took
kinda-
them out.
It's like
Well,
a.
it's making me think because if the game's taking place in a Dyson sphere where the Forerunners and I guess whatever creatures they wanted to take, a la kind of Noah's Ark, to survive the Halo rings, they brought them there. Maybe the drones or Sentinels were kind of based off of these actual creatures.
Could
I don't
be.
know.
It could be an older model. Older Sentinels. Right there. X-shaped Sentinels.
Alrighty. That is cool. I probably might have to pick some of those toys up and just like put them on the shelf somewhere.
You
That
buy
shelf
toys
is
but
getting
never
busy.
play with
This
them.
shelf is filled. I might be getting might be moving this one over there, and just getting more shelving down here in the studio space because I'm running out. So let's move
Let's go to the
on.
next thing. Next thing on the list.
So
Benny.
Benny, I know you're a big fan of Minecraft.
Yeah, for you people who waste a lot of time in Minecraft and finally manage to step away from the computer and hop down and watch TV, you can now waste more time on your TV playing Minecraft with a controller.
Have you played it yet, Benny?
What?
Have you played it yet?
I have not.
Benny doesn't
I
want to
have it
become
on
a...
PC. Why would I need it on my
He doesn't want to
to
become the statistic.
If I could answer that question, I wouldn't be able to. I'd be able to explain why it's sold 1 million copies so far. That's blowing my mind how much. I thought maybe a couple 100,000, but 1 million, more money going into Mojang's pocket. I think this is good. I mean, a lot of people who don't. Again, we go back to the debate. People who don't have a really nice PC to play things on. I mean, it's Minecraft. Anybody can play it. But
I don't know about that.
I think this is
yeah, it's debatable. It
exposure.
depends who you talk to. I mean, some people play on the lowest settings, but again, you get these console people who are like, well, I need some other fun game that everyone's been playing. It's like, oh, hey, here's Minecraft. Now I can enjoy it too. I have heard of the limitations people are complaining about. Saying the world's only so big, and I'm like, well, it's still pretty big. But it's good. It's just another platform that Minecraft's expanding to, and eventually you'll see it on. Well, that's pretty much it. I mean, it's on your handheld, your PC, your Xbox.
Your tablet, your phone.
I don't think there was really a tablet. I mean, I know there's one for Android. and
Do we want it on the PS3?
Hang on, Kev. Can you hand me my iPad? Let's see if we can get it on here.
Where is your iPad?
My
Oh,
iPad's
it's
on,
right
on the couch.
it to work. But
So let's see if we can get this. If there is Minecraft for it, I don't have my wallet, so I can't pay for it. But I will look.
I'm gonna say I wouldn't be surprised if they announced Minecraft for the Wii U, but I don't think that will be happening. It depends how much Notch and Jeb and all of them are excited to see the Wii U. So, and now we're gonna wait for Trevor to play Minecraft.
No,
on
no,
his
go ahead and continue. Go ahead and continue, guys.
That's all I had.
What's new in the App Store with Trevor Magnani?
I have to find out though if it has an iPad version.
Pretty sure
Meanwhile,
they
can we
do.
move on to
They
our
do.
next
They do. I've seen Mike Matei from Cinemassacre play it with Inspector Gadget.
With
If you haven't
Inspector
seen that
Gadget.
video and you're a fan of Cinemassacre,
Oh,
you're
hang
not a real
on.
fan of Cinemassacre.
They have a light version.
Yes. Yes, they do.
Oh, it's
Minecraft
light version. It's not like
Pocket
real
Edition.
Minecraft. But
No, they have the Pocket Edition, then they have Pocket Edition Lite, which is free. So I'm going to go download that while we go ahead and talk about a lawsuit happening. This time,
Uh-oh.
this time the guns are facing Activision again. Big surprise.
Again.
Well, this time actually it's they actually have some standing. Novalogic is suing Activision over a logo. What logo, you may ask? If you've been playing the Modern Warfare series, you might have noticed that they reference Delta Force. But there is a game of the same name. And as soon as this loads up here, there it is. Look at those logos there.
Strikingly similar. Although I will point out one thing. One does face the other way. Making it entirely different.
No, actually, it doesn't face. Does it face the other way? Is it just the mirror, or is it?
No, it's rotated.
The lightning bolt is on the other side.
It's rotated,
and the knife goes through the
of course,
the delta.
Slight differences. Still different.
They are slightly different. There also is the knife handle there.
Activision's stance on this issue is ours is facing the other way. That is the only comment they've had thus far. Entirely joking. Some people will get that. Other people will not.
See, the first time, like, I just recently played through Modern Warfare 3, and when I saw that logo, I actually, it reminded me of Delta Force. It didn't click in my head right away, but as soon as I saw this, I was like, oh my god, they're pretty much the exact same. And as a former Delta Force fan, I don't know, I think Novalogic deserves their money.
Well, they're claiming that they want to get an They don't even say how much they want to get. Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty, I've got Minecraft up now.
There goes that topic.
Well, here we go, folks.
It's official.
It's official.
You saw it on GenGame first.
In case you didn't know, you can play Minecraft on an iPad.
That actually looked really good.
It actually does, and the controls actually are pretty fluid.
Looks like you're shooting blocks.
Pew, pew, pew. All right, well, enough of that, because I'm going to get distracted. Ooh, this looks actually pretty cool. Alrighty, let's go ahead and move on, because I have been officially distracted by Minecraft on my tablet
we just
now.
hop forward and backwards in topics now. And
yes, we can hop however you want.
We should go talk back to like episode 22 and talk about which was it?
Sopa?
Sopa or no, episode 20 and talk about Sopa for a second.
No,
sounds like a bad idea, Benny. How about we talk about something more relevant, like Steam wallet cards?
And if you want to get your Steam wallet on, which actually is a very nice feature to have, especially if you don't want to tie a credit card or a PayPal account to your Steam account. The only place you can get your Steam wallet cards, though, is going to be GameStop, which is kind of unfortunate.
The most backwards-sounding thing ever.
For you people who hate GameStop, well, we'll just wait until you see what we got here.
It's like Steam Bucks.
I mean,
like, call them Steam Bucks. Kind of like that name.
That would be pretty funny. But I think like Steam is kind of shooting themselves in the foot here by kind of locking in an exclusive retail partner for these cards. While GameStop is known for being just a game retailer, and they're the ones that said, "Hey, well, we want to distribute your cards. Can you give us an exclusive on it?" They did, but they don't know. We don't know what the exclusive period is going to be. But I can't expect it to be long, because those cards are going to be in your 7-Eleven, your Wawas, your convenience stores, your Targets, your Best Buys, your Walmarts, Kmarts,
anything that sells electronics. Maybe not like
Best
your
Buy,
Radio Shack or something.
Radio Shack.
Maybe.
It's going to be everywhere it sells those cards.
Yeah, it better be. If you can buy cards just for about any other game service out there, you even buy League of Legends Riot Points in a GameStop or even anywhere. I've seen them in a grocery store before. I can't believe I've seen that in a grocery store before. I've
never seen wall cards in a grocery store. I will say that.
I have. The grocery store I go to, I've seen them there because they're right next to the magazines. But yeah, I mean, I first think is like people usually get Steam because they don't want to deal with going to the game store to get stuff. But now it's like, okay, if you don't like giving us your money directly, you can give GameStop your money first.
Well, it's a layer of assurance and security, and that's the reason why people use Xbox Live Points cards, and that's why that whole prepaid card industry exists. I mean, Fastcard would be completely out of business, which is the company that powers most of these cards.
See, I'm disappointed that this didn't actually happen sooner, because my parents have never really believed in purchasing things online. So when I was younger and wanted to purchase something on Steam, I never could.
Me too. Do you know how I ended up getting Counter-Strike? I went to GameStop and I bought the boxed copy of it.
Wow.
Yeah, that's one of the only ways you could do it
Wow.
before, right? So I wish the cards that had existed sooner, because I definitely would have probably become a bigger PC gamer because it's more accessible then.
My only question is why be exclusive to games? I mean, again, it comes to the time frame, and I love the quote from GameStop, which is completely ironic, and saying they want to give customers choice. Do you now?
Well, sometimes you gotta do something to give yourself good PR.
I think it's a good idea.
I think it's just poor
if
choice of words
you
there.
try to explain this to a retailer like Target or Walmart or somebody that isn't quite literally titled a game specialty store, they might not understand it, might not want to sell it. What are Steam dollars? What are these Steam wallet cards? GameStop understands it. It's a gaming store.
Well, I mean,
Start with them,
yeah.
let other
Okay.
retailers pick it up, and then, boom, you're selling
Yeah.
more.
I mean,
It makes sense.
it's like how the Kindle started first in Target, and then Best Buy picked it up, and then Staples, and everybody else, and then Target's like, you know what? We've had enough of the Kindle. We're not going to sell it anymore. Screw you guys.
happens. That's
And-
that's retail.
And hopefully we don't see that with Steam Bucks.
Yeah, hopefully we don't see those
Steam Bucks.
Steam
You got me saying it now.
Steam Bucks.
You son of a bitch. You got me calling products by their wrong names.
To sum it all up, let's give Gabe Newell more money.
Yep.
Moving on.
Pay the man. Let's talk about some. Well, actually, no. This isn't talking about more money. This is talking about significantly less money,
Significantly less.
to the tune of $239 million. THQ, they're making some pretty bad decisions. They're trying to definitely fix the problems they've had. I don't know how they are still in business after dropping
either.
that much
230. Oh my
It's
god.
ridiculous. That pays
for the fiscal year.
That's like a couple at bats for Albert Pujols. How could they keep up with that?
Ayo. But
Sports joke. Let's go, everybody. Come on. George would have been like, oh, it's so true.
yeah, George is gonna
Oh.
have to watch this episode.
I miss George.
Yeah, we can't wait for George to come back on the show. But I mean, THQ did you draw? That thing was a total and complete
Oh my
flop.
God, that was the worst idea.
That was a shock to everybody, though. I mean, everyone thought that was going to be really successful.
Oh, in all honesty, people did think that was going to be successful.
I don't know. I mean, I can see it for like a kid being successful, but I mean, I don't know.
Not when we all have draw something
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
our iPhones and our iPads and our everypad.
Yeah, I'm just gonna not. I'm
iThings.
not gonna open up the iPad again.
No, let's not. You've already downloaded enough this podcast.
If you had Trevor Shops online on your bingo square, you can now check that off.
Trevor
We
buys
have a
something on his
bingo square?
iPad.
And I don't know about this.
Ding.
We don't have the bingo board up yet, but
Bummer. It's in the works.
it's in the works. At some point, we're
Wait
gonna
for
have
that one
it.
to happen.
Someone somewhere is making it.
But they are going to be back to THQ. They're going to be cutting off their kids' licensed video game department, which is good. So we'll see a significant reduction in crapware. So no more licensed titles.
I got you calling things by their wrong names. Crapware. I didn't know that
Crapware.
was a technical term.
Yeah, it's a technical term.
I thought that was a nickname for WiiWare.
Oh no. Well, there's
thought it was
some
a
good
nickname for
WiiWare.
shovelware.
Don't give. There's shovelware. There's crapware,
And then there's WiiWare.
and then there's WiiWare.
And WiiWare is below all of them. I love how you listed them in decreasing order. There's shovelware, there's crapware, then there's WiiWare.
No, well, shovelware could be crapware. It depends.
Okay, well, shovelware could shovel
you're shoveling
crapware
crap.
and uncover
all in the same
WiiWare
pile.
under the crapware. It's like you're lowering it even further.
I'm trying to help WiiWare out here. Like, wasn't there a Mega Man WiiWare game?
There were two.
Mega Man
The
9.
9 and
Well,
10, yeah.
yeah, but that released on everything.
Yeah, but still, there's some good WiiWare though. Then.
I was saying, we were
Super Meat
designed
Boy
to
was
be-
and originally WiiWare. World of Goo was originally WiiWare.
I'm gonna say, we were originally designed to be kind of like the same thing as Xbox Live, just to get.
Well,
the
no,
same
Xbox Live
Just-
Arcade,
Just, it didn't work as
Arcade,
much.
yeah.
except at a
And-
significantly smaller scale.
Yeah.
and it
With
didn't take
less
off as well as they
developing.
would have hoped.
Less developer backing. Some developers pulled their
Yeah.
games. I think there was a recent title that got pulled. I'm forgetting the name, but it's really irrelevant. So let's keep on going with more relevant things.
Yeah, so let's talk about some more bad news from the THQ camp.
This is a downer of a podcast.
Yeah,
Well, we got some good news at the end.
Yeah, that's good.
The South Park RPG was originally supposed to be released sometime in 2012, and it's been delayed to the first quarter of 2013. I'm disappointed with that, but at the same time, if they're gonna make a better game because of it, I'm all for it. I mean, I think a lot of people are maturing as gamers in that sense that they'd rather a game comes out a little bit later and it be a way more polished and better product than something getting rushed out.
I definitely agree with you there. And I mean, we've had to deal with this with Blizzard, and we have to deal with this with other companies. I mean, we've seen delays ranging from weeks to months to years.
Duke Nukem Forever.
To 12 years.
to
Diablo.
decades.
Yeah, seriously, decades. Blizzard, thanks. Finally happened, though. That's
Yeah.
good.
It finally happened, and it kicks ass.
Yeah, it does.
Also clicks ass.
Yeah. Yes, it does.
I think a lot of people
Very
are
clever.
really going to buy this game anyway because they've been looking for a really good South Park game in a long time. It's just it's a lot of bad news from THQ, but they're going to try and bring it all together. I mean, they got Darksiders coming, and
Yeah,
Saints Row the
that's
Third
gonna be
did
exciting.
re-
You-
Saints
did you
Row
know-
the Third did really well.
Did you know THQ is not even going to be at E3?
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And this was
they got to
actually
save money. They got
this
to cut
was-
corners.
They couldn't afford a booth.
the funny thing is, me and Monsters were going to go to E3 and hang out at the THQ Darksiders booth there,
Promote
and
the
then
Darksiders dungeon.
and yeah, just kind of sit there and hang out, chat with people there, get some cool stuff for the site, and then we find out, oh, they're not going to be there.
Wow.
Yeah,
Bummer. Well, at least Nintendo will.
yeah. Well, I don't know if there's
I
anything going to be
hope.
happening with the Zelda camp this year.
No.
We can only
Who
hope.
knows? Oracle
Yeah. You never know.
remakes, something like that. But that's
This is
another
Nintendo.
topic for something more related to June. One thing I will say, this seems like a smart idea because I don't think THQ wants to potentially have this rushed, have it release closer to the holidays and have to compete with blockbuster games you're dealing with. Not literally blockbuster games. Blockbuster's out. Halo 4.
If
Black
Halo
Ops
4,
2,
Black Ops 2, Borderlands 2 is coming out.
2, other games. Just saying,
Assassin's Creed 3.
Assassin's Creed 3.
Assassin's Creed 3.
Of course.
The Wii U console launch.
Yeah.
The Wii
like,
U itself.
South Park isn't really up there on the hierarchy.
Yeah,
so
I think
it's a good
that
thing.
game
Let
is better suited for like a January, February release. Right in the bounce back season, people got their new consoles unwrapped, and they're thinking, "Oh man, let's get a game. Oh, what's coming out this way? Oh, the South Park game. Oh my God, they just had that really funny episode last night." That's my thought process. at
That's
least.
that's a good thought process. I like that
actually
thought
could tie in
process.
very well because new episodes come out probably around the same time as the game would. I wouldn't be surprised if they actually referenced their own game in an episode. Actually, now that I'm saying it, it's probably going to happen.
It's going to happen.
Way to call it, Benny.
I can almost. I mean, they're saying they're making a better game. I can almost want to say they're planning. They're going to be scheduling this around the series now. Now that I'm talking about this, I think it's actually going to happen. And if it does happen, you can quote me on it. Nevertheless, it's going to be a lot of fun. That's what I'm going to be picking up.
That'll be an interesting title. I don't know if it'll be as deep as I'm anticipating it to be, but
South Park.
It's gonna be South Park. It's gonna be funny. It's gonna be filled with swears and dirty jokes, and
Yeah.
it'll be fun, right?
Of course.
Should be fun.
Should be fun.
As long as it's more fun than the original South Park game on the Nintendo 64, it's a win. Who here played that?
I did not.
Oh, I played it for
I
sure.
did. We got to get it, man. We'll play right here.
Let's do it.
So hang on, just so
Come
we
on,
can.
yeah.
All right, enough of buying things. Speaking of Nintendo,
Let's talk about some Nintendo, Kev.
let's talk about Nintendo, Kev.
You're supposed to talk about Nintendo, not repeat what
All
I
right.
say.
For those of you who are fans of Mario Kart 7, like myself, Trevor, bought the game, played it, a lot of fun. Unfortunately, there's some naysayers there on the internet that like to use glitches to get through areas that normally would take a few minutes to complete on a track. Only takes a few seconds from jumping off cliffs and whatnot and spawning back. Nintendo fixed a couple game-breaking ones. I think it was a few instances where this stuff happened. They fixed patches, which is very, very unlike Nintendo. Normally, they don't fix their games. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, right?
Yeah, in this case, it was
It
broke,
was
and they
broke,
did
right? They
fix.
did fix
If it
it,
is
so-
broken, still don't fix it.
So that's Nintendo. They done good.
For
the
once.
shocking news here is that Nintendo fixed something.
Well, I mean, I think this is a change in Nintendo's philosophy. Nintendo's always been a company that said, you know what? If it's broken, okay, we're not going to really be able to do anything because the infrastructure's not in place to patch games. And it really isn't still on the Wii. I mean, the Skyward Sword save glitch issue. You have to download something from the Wii shop to fix your save file. And that's the first time Nintendo's had to actually issue a patch for a game. I think. Almost positive.
Which is
I
probably
can't
just
think
gonna
of any
hint
other
that they're going
instance.
to allow this kind of stuff in the future with the Wii U. I mean, just...
Well, I think
a lot
of the Wii
things
U...
people have been hoping Nintendo would actually make progress toward. They're making progress toward.
Yeah, I think Nintendo's learning now that they're going to have that infrastructure in place, and they did it with the Nintendo Network. That now you can't play unless you have the patched version. And how do you get the patched version? You go to the eShop, you download the patch. You're done. You're able to play now. Hopefully that process is automated, so if you launch the game, it's like an update is required, you can download it right within the game, but knowing Nintendo, that's not going to happen.
No, unfortunately it won't. I
haven't tried. I haven't looked at it yet, but it probably will.
More Nintendo stuff, right? More Nintendo.
More Nintendo?
Let's keep talking about Nintendo.
Yeah. Let's
Why
talk
not?
about some Nintendo. Nintendo's slashing the prices on some games, and they're bringing out some new Nintendo Selects. Dusted them off, putting them back into the Evergreen collection. Pikmin 2 and Mario Power Tennis are going down to $19.99, which is actually interesting because the price of those games used go pretty astronomical.
Yeah.
So Nintendo's saying, you know what, there's a demand for these games.
Let's make them cheap.
Let's make them cheap and cut out all the people making insane profits on our games.
Yeah. Because if it's one thing that Nintendo games do, it's hold their value. You want to get a used copy of, like, Super Mario Galaxy, it still commands a pretty hefty price. I'm not...
Well, before Nintendo Selects.
Before the Selects. Sorry, bad example, but you know what I mean. They hold their value.
Well, no, it was a good example, because that game held its value very well all the way up until they made it a Nintendo Select title.
Even other games like Twilight Princess, who had the same thing. Like, it stayed
very true, Benny.
$49.99 for a very long time.
I mean, also, too, you have games like Super Smash Brothers and also, too, Donkey Kong Country Returns that are going to be dropping in price officially.
Why those two aren't selects, though, is beyond me.
Yeah. I think, though, Super Smash Brothers Brawl, I don't know how that's not a select title. That was like a 2008 game?
Yeah.
Well, I think part of that is because they can make more than $19.99 on it. Like, personally, if I was going to go pick it up $30, I'd still pay that without a doubt for Super Smash Bros. Brawl.
I would, too.
Yeah, I think they're trying to really start to sweep in the value-conscious gamers, or the parents, really. Like, for example, like I'll be like, hey, so these are some of the best titles of the week. This is like the cream of the crop, the games you have to have for your system. And I'll be like, okay, if you want a good fighting game that's kind of good for the whole family, get Super Smash Brothers.
Yep. And as a retail salesman, you're the one who wants to get customers to buy things like that.
Yeah.
And it's great for retail.
I mean, in all honesty, I don't care if you buy Game X or Game Y, personally.
Yeah, as long as
I want the person to be happy with the game they're getting.
There you go. As long as the customer walks out with something.
No joke, I will get the cheapest bastards to come up to me and say, why is that game $50? I'm like, because it's a good game. There's a reason why the good Wii titles cost a lot of money. And that's because they're good. They have value to them.
It's a rare breed.
You could actually play it more than once and not be bored with it. And Nintendo Selects has been like, you know what? There's so much shovelware on our system. We need to kind of turn the tables on that thought process that a $20 game is a piece of crap. And they took a huge risk when they did that by doing the Nintendo Select series when they released those games at $19.99, because first of all, they reduced the value perceived of the game. But at the same time, they put a shiny red label on it saying, this is the best.
Did they put the seal, like the Nintendo seal, back on there? I never. That's one thing I never actually looked for.
They did. I think they need to bring back Player's Choice. That was like the one program that I thought was
Player's
great.
Choice, and then the actual official Nintendo seal they used to put on games.
I think that's just classy.
Well, the Nintendo seal quality went on every Nintendo game because they all have to go through Nintendo for QA and make sure they don't crash.
Mm-hmm.
And every game still has it on the back.
They don't enforce it anymore. Now it's just like a little sticker. Nobody looks at it anymore. I used to see that in games. I'm like, yeah, now I know this game is good. I think Nintendo Selecta, when I first saw the program, I'm like, okay, Wii U's coming out, or like at first I started thinking about it. Like Wii U's coming out, they're just prolonging things. They're trying to keep something going until the Wii U comes out, because I guess a lot of people are hoping that they're going to fix all of their own problems, because they've got no new games coming out. I mean, Skyward Sword was it. It was the grand finale. And the new console is still months away.
Well, I mean, you're in the wind down series, the wind down part of the cycle. I think that the transition between Wii U and Wii is going to be a little bit more of a sharp right turn than what the 3DS and DS transition was. What do you think of that, Kev?
I'm hoping that Nintendo keeps it alive for as long as it needs to be and doesn't just keep pumping stuff out that doesn't really need to happen for Wii games.
I honestly think that the Wii U is going to just end the Wii U right away. And if Nintendo wants the Wii U to be successful, they need to do that.
Yeah.
They need to literally recall unsold units when that system comes out. Otherwise, they're screwed. Because then they're gonna be pushing this dual console strategy.
They've
that
already got it with the
backfires.
DS and the 3DS.
That always backfires on them.
You can't fight
they
a
probably have to stop
four-pronged war.
manufacturing Wii's now. They have a lot in their hands. They're just gonna have to do and get ready for the launch. But the thing is, we don't even know the launch window.
It's gonna be holiday. It's gonna be August, September, at the earliest.
I was guessing mid-November.
I was guessing early December. Like
December.
They're gonna announce maybe
That's
October,
late.
but they'll push
that's
it to
real
December.
late.
'Cause
That's
they like to
really
delay
late.
Early
things.
December. Like
Benny, we're
announce
getting
that?
details in June for this system.
I know, and they're gonna say holiday. They're gonna say this holiday at
Yeah.
E3.
December.
No,
is-
we're gonna get a date at E3.
December is too late because people.
We were gonna
will
get a date at
rush to buy
E3
it.
for Skyward Sword, and they said this holiday.
Yeah, there's a difference though. That's a game.
Yeah.
For a system, you have so many more
That's-
factors going in. You have to make sure your developers are ready. And if you don't make a definitive announcement of when your system's coming out at E3, it's going to be detrimental.
You
Because
have
then
you have games like Pilot Wings 3D as your launch title, which didn't work with the 3DS. Which I'm sure Nintendo.
I had a lot of fun with it.
But still, like
It wasn't the
you
best
want-
launch title.
When it's a launch system for Nintendo, Mario, Zelda, Samus, Kirby. I don't know, maybe not Kirby, but something that you recognize. It can't just be like, oh, we got
And right
Pilot
now-
Wings,
right now
we have
they're,
throwbacks, we have like F-Zero, although that would be awesome. Still, like you can't have the second rate
Evan just blew my mind.
Well,
I'm thinking F-Zero Wii U, and I'm like,
F-Zero Wii U driving around with the thing.
dude, that'd be
like
freaking crazy. Like you have like on the
F-Zero
Wii U,
launch though, that would be kind of cool because it would be a throwback to the Super
it would be
Nintendo.
a throwback. Also, too, you could do so many crazy things with that tablet
Yeah.
controller.
But you see what I'm saying? You can't just have third-rate.
You gotta have top-notch games.
top-tier games.
We need first-party
You have to
games.
have Mario, Zelda, something, Pikmin.
Well, I think we're gonna see a Mario launch.
We're gonna
I
be
think
seeing the new or what is it?
It's new Super Mario Brothers and me.
Me.
yeah.
Silly name, but still, I would love to see Nintendo throw something out of nowhere. New Paper Mario game launch on the Wii. Crazy.
Paper Mario's already come out of 3DS. I mean, same with was Luigi's Mansion. I wouldn't want to see Luigi's Mansion as a launch title anyway. But
Yeah, we want to see
like
Pikmin 3
all
as
the
well.
kind of somewhat obvious, not really obvious choices are kind of taken, and other choices aren't a possibility. I mean, I guess we could probably see a new Mario game.
Star
maybe.
Fox game, Samus.
A Star
whatever.
Fox game is also a possibility because we haven't seen from Star Fox in a while. I mean,
Star Fox 3D.
3D, yes.
That was pretty recent.
It was a port.
It's a port.
Yeah,
with
which is
newer
why there's a
graphics.
possibility.
Super
Right.
Smash Brothers, we haven't heard anything about, and then I wouldn't.
It's
I
gonna
don't
happen.
expect them to come to E3 and say, "We have the new game ready, launch title."
Super Smash Brothers is not going to be a launch title.
No, they're
No,
gonna.
it-
That
I
game is
mean,
never
fun.
going to come out. It's the next freaking Duke Nukem.
I could definitely see Pikmin 3 being one. Mainly because of the fact that they're moving Pikmin 2 to the selects right now. Maybe they're trying to open up to a new audience before the Wii U launches with a new Pikmin game.
Could work. I like that thinking.
He's got the answer right there. You just figured it out.
I don't think we're gonna see Kirby. We just saw the Kirby Wii game.
It was pretty good too.
Yeah, but when you think Nintendo, even I didn't think about Kirby at first, and I love Kirby.
I think what we'll see, though, from Nintendo is it would be really bad if they come out and say, oh, yeah, by the way, the Wii games are going to run a native resolution. They need to say something like, this is going to take your existing Wii games and play them in high definition. They need to do something like that. They need to say, you know what? We know we screwed up by not making the Wii high def. We wanted to hit that price point. We did it. Now everybody's got a lot of Wii games, a lot of Wii accessories, and we want to make this transition as easy as possible.
So all you have to do is sell your one console and
get rid of your Wii system,
Trade it
pop in a
into
Wii U,
or something.
Actually, that would almost
everything
be
works.
like the definitive thing Nintendo could do is announce kind of like a trade-in program. It's like you trade in.
You're
your
not
Wii,
going to get that.
and
No,
all of a
that's
sudden
not
you're
going to
get.
happen. Oh my god, they're going to be
money
burying
off.
them somewhere.
Yeah, and then Nintendo will take 2 units that get traded in, tape them together, and then you got the Wii U, right?
Right.
Of course.
About the same processing power, yeah.
They tape them together.
That would be kind of a gutsy maneuver by Nintendo. Just like take old recycled Wii's and just trade them in for a Wii U or whatever they decide to call it. If the rumor is they change the name, that would be another kind of bold move by them.
That would be, and we're going to talk about that on our E3 prediction show coming up the week before E3. And we're going to be doing. I think what we're going to do is we're going to do 3 shows: one on Microsoft rumors, one on Sony rumors, one on Nintendo rumors. So that way, if you're totally into Microsoft, you got an all Microsoft show heading your way. If you're into Nintendo, an all Nintendo show, and an all Sony show, which will probably be just an hour-long bashing session of why Sony has made so many bad decisions.
Can we mix Sony with like the other press conferences that are coming? Just like throw them all
Sony
together.
and everybody else.
Sony and everybody.
Now we're not going to do predictions on like THQ or THQ.
I would kind of like to talk about some.
Maybe we'll
do
do Activision.
I would like to talk about them because.
Well, mix them in with Sony because Sony really doesn't have much
as we
to
don't
talk
like
about.
them, you know.
They're going to have some crazy rumors, I think.
There's going to be some good things to say. I think that could be a good show.
I mean, the thing about this year is anything can happen. Nobody said they're going to be showcasing anything at E3.
Other than Nintendo. Nintendo's the only one you know what's going to happen.
Supposedly, we're not going to see any announcements from Microsoft or Sony, but you never know. They could be putting a poker face on.
I have a pretty strong feeling that we're going to see a new Microsoft console.
Or at least something.
Yeah, there's going to be something to do with it. Maybe not like an unveiling of it with a price, or I mean with a release date or anything like that, but maybe kind of a la Wii U last year, a little bit of information.
All right.
Kind of like
I think we've been podcasting now for just a little bit too long. Diablo 3 is calling my name.
Yes,
so let's wrap up with the calendar here, folks. Because
we have some events coming up.
Yeah, there's
a lot of events coming up.
Cool events happening up on the calendar. So let's go ahead and talk about what's happening this week. Chris, you got an event happening over at GenStream, right?
Yeah, on May 17th, starting at 6 p.m. EST, we're going to be having a Mega Man Versus Marathon, raising money for Child's Play charity. There's 4 teams competing. There's kind of a list of achievements that they will be competing to. Well, basically, they'll be gaining points for based on their speed and also other factors, how well they play the games. And you can check that all out at genstream.net/versus.
Coming up next Tuesday, if you are a fan of the Ghost Recon series, Future Soldiers gonna be out. So somebody here's gonna be picking it up, so we'll be live streaming that when it comes out. And coming up later in June, we have the Zelda Dungeon Marathon. Yours truly will be playing, and details will be on genstream.net and over at zeldadungeon.net eventually. Also, Benny.
At the same time, I'm going to officially say we are going to launch for you guys to go and explore all of Hyrule-Craft. Every square inch of it, you get to go see. We're going to be launching it that week.
Every single square inch.
Except like the little stuff we don't want to use.
Except for the stuff that's not finished
all the overworld and all the dungeons will be there. And maybe a couple of extra zones.
All right. Chris, where can people find you online?
You guys can find me over at genstream.net or on Twitter at I'm Chris Hansen.
Benny.
You can email me at bennygg@gengame.net, and you can follow me on Twitter at NightPhoenix16. That's NIGHTPHOENIX16.
Jeez. You got that all on lockdown there, Benny. Kevin.
Short, sweet, to the point. I'm done.
You can find me on Twitter at Shabazzle. You could also email me, kevin@gengame.net.
Nice. And we'll be playing some Diablo 3 later on tonight.
Yes, but that's another place you can find me on the live channel
And
playing Diablo.
yeah, for once.
Yes. Yeah.
Gotta get you doing like high def.
You know
soon.
what? We have got some time on our hands here this summer.
Oh,
so
yeah,
Diablo may be a priority for yours truly.
Yes. Also, too, we've got all the we've got huge Diablo stuff happening on the channel. We're going to be doing StarCraft. We're going to be doing League of Legends tournaments. All sorts of crazy things with the new esports division. But where can I be found? That's probably a good place to start.
It's a good question to
Yeah.
ask.
You can actually just Google me and find me. I'm actually
doesn't work for me. You find the Aviator actor and the
Right.
guy from Boardwalk Empire, also Kevin O'Rourke.
Also, you can find me on Twitter. I'm at @themags. You could also email me, Trevor@gengame.net. If you want to get in touch with the show, you can shoot us an email, podcast@gengame.net. You could leave a comment on the post when it goes up. You could subscribe to the show in iTunes. You can subscribe to us on Lit TV and follow us on YouTube. That's where all the episodes are posted, video and audio available in 480p. But that's it, right?
That's it.
Anybody else got
That's it.
anything?
That's all we got.
I think that's the show.
GenGame.
So I think it's about to say bye, everybody. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.